So the story we're doing today is the story of Vamana Pt.1. The story of Vamana Pt.1 begins, I shouldn't say begins, but the main character is the great-grandson of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is the son of Diti, so he's a Daitya. Hiranyakashipu's son was Prahlad. Prahlad's son was Virochana. Virochana's son was Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj, even though he was a Daitya, he was a descendant of Diti, one of the wives of Kashyapa Muni, he was very much like his grandfather. He was very devotional. He did not have an enmity with Vishnu as Hiranyakashipu, his great-grandfather, had. He had an issue with the Daityas, he had an issue with the demigods, but not with Vishnu per se. So Bali Maharaj was actually at the war, he participated in the war between the demigods and the demons right after the churning of the ocean of milk, when Mohini Murti gave the nectar to the demigods. The demigods became invincible, and they essentially wiped out the demons. Bali Maharaj was there. He was killed. However, Sukracharya, recognizing that Bali Maharaj, not only because of his lineage, being the great-grandson and then the grandson of Prahlad, he's a very special personality, but he was also one of the kings, one of the major personalities in the Daitya world, the demon world. So Sukracharya brought Bali Maharaj back to life. Bali Maharaj was naturally appreciative, was naturally grateful. So he began to show his appreciation. He served and accepted Sukracharya as his guru. Not accepted, Sukracharya is the guru of all the demons. But he gave extra attention and service to Sukracharya. Sukracharya was very pleased. But then he asked, or he instructed Bali Maharaj, and he helped Bali Maharaj to perform a sacrifice to make him invincible so that he could get revenge on the demigods and boot the demigods out of heaven, Amaravati. So Bali Maharaj and his demons, under the guidance of Sukracharya, they did this yajna, and out of this yajna came a chariot, came horses, came all of the weapons, instruments necessary for battle. And having come out of and being sanctified by yajna, they were essentially invincible, all of these items that came from the yajna. So taking up these weapons, sitting on the chariot that came out, this blessed chariot that came out of the yajna, Bali Maharaj and the demons, they went to heaven, attacked the king of heaven, Indra, and chased the demigods, defeated the demigods and chased them out of heaven. So then Bali Maharaj and the demons took up residence in heaven, Amaravati. Amaravati is the capital city, if you will, of Indra, heavenly planets. So Bali Maharaj is there, and they have taken possession of Amaravati. Aditi, one of the wives of Kashyapa Muni, she is the mother of the Adityas. The Adityas are the demigods, Lord Indra. So Aditi, as a mother is wont to do, she became very morose, very anxious, very upset because her sons, Indra and the demigods, were now off in hiding. They were nowhere to be found. They had actually disappeared. They were essentially homeless. They could not be found because they were afraid of the demigods chasing them and causing more disturbance. So they were in hiding. And Aditi, as a mother, became very distressed because of this. Her husband, Kashyapa Muni, is a Muni. He was not home. He was off in the forest, engaged in his meditation. So Aditi was alone at home in complete distress about her sons. Rather than take care of the ashram, Kashyapa Muni had an ashram, rather than take care of the ashram in the absence of her husband, Aditi just let the ashram go to disrepair. When Kashyapa Muni came back from his meditation, he came back to the ashram and he recognized that the ashram wasn't taken care of. And he said, "My dear wife, my dear Devi, what's happened? What's wrong?" You can understand that something was obviously bothering her. So Aditi then explained to him, says, "My dear husband, our children, the Adityas, have been chased away by the sons of Diti, your other wife. Please do something. Why are you allowing my sons to be harassed by the sons of Diti? Please give me a son that can chase Bali Maharaj and all the demons out of Amaravati." So Kashyapa Muni says, "My dear Devi, my dear wife, I am unable to do this. Bali Maharaj is very powerful. He has been blessed by Sukracharya. He is also the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. He comes from a very distinguished line of personages. I am unable to, this is not something that you and I can sort out," was Kashyapa Muni's reply. And we'll continue.